So here you go with the chat links. First link is of syllabus link. You can check your syllabus. In case you have not enrolled yet, no need to worry. You can complete your payment process and you can join the batch. We are always welcome to take up the feedback. For that, you just need to fill up this form. Okay, we got one more step. Hey, Venba, please turn on your camera. Okay, she is facing some internet error, so we'll continue with the links only. So in case you want to know in detail about particular batch, you need to click on this all batch detail link and you'll get to know. In case you have any further queries, feel free to email us at support@olympiadsuccess.com or you can drop us a WhatsApp message on these two particular numbers. Okay. So now I would like to invite your mentor at the platform. Her name is Miss Anjali. She's a wonderful mentor. She's having conceptual clarity and she'd love to teach kids like you. She is into teaching profession for Olympia students since so long. Over to you, Anjali, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. Hello, everyone. Hello, Parth and Ayansh. Okay, so my name is Anjali, and currently I'm in Rajasthan. I'm working as a teacher over here. So I have been associated with Olympiad Success for so long, and it's very excited journey actually, I would tell you. So here we will be learning through virtual experiments as well as virtual classes, right? And then we will have discussions, we will have PowerPoint presentations, diagrams, flow charts, etc. Plus, after each chapter, there will be mock test where you can evaluate yourself. Plus, I would also understand that how much you have learned yourself, okay? And you will get a scorecard, you will get your assessment then and there itself. And after the end of the classes, like after the completion of the chapters, we would have super classes. So those super classes will be like the how the actual Olympiad exams are there, right? So they will be previous year paper discussions in which you will get an idea how actually Olympiad exams are conducted, what kind of questions are there, how many questions are there, what is the level of the question and all. So throughout the journey, you would be not only preparing for just Olympiad exams, you would also be along with this, you are also preparing for your school level exams, right? So I'm very excited and curious to continue this journey with you. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now I'll be going to share my screen with you all, wherein you'll be going to look on the presentation. So I want all of you to be very, very attentive. So as you know, Olympiad Success is a preparation platform where we do offer course named School Plus program in which it includes various subjects, mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, spoken and written, Vedic maths and coding. We do offer various classes for different grades for different boards, that is CBSE, ICSE, IGSE, IB, and different Olympiads. So these are kids like you, they are rank holders. So you can also be a rank holder. For this, you need to be little more harder towards your studies. So for that, what you need to do, you need to spare every 2 hours extra from your regular studies. So you can also be a rank holder. So what all we will be going to offer? We will be going to offer group session with around 20 students delivered through Zoom platform with our significant tutors. So session will be 3 days per week. Days will be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Timing will be 5 p.m. till 6:15 p.m. with 5 minutes of break. Tuesday. Session will include mixed topic-wise quick revision, discussion on previous year papers, and of course, which your mentor has already mentioned, there'll be content. So you'll be going to get a reading material, everything I'll be going to show you right away after this presentation on the dashboard. So these all are the relevant links. No need to worry, links have been pasted in the chat box and will again be pasted. So syllabus link is there. Fees for this course is 8,500, 32 rupees. It is 36 session course. Payment can be made by clicking on this link. What all you need? You just need a laptop or desktop with good internet connection and plus headphones for better audio clarity. Yes, in 2024, we have students from more than 5,000 schools across India and abroad. So live classes will be going to continue from July 17th, 2025. So let me stop sharing my screen and I'll take you towards the dashboard. So here you go with the platform. So you need to enter this URL, kids, olympiadsuccess.com, and you'll be going to arrive on this page. Over here, you will be going to enter this email ID with which you will register with us. As of now, I am logging in with one of our demo account. So after signing in, you'll get your profile details, check it in case you find any error, you can update it over here, okay? Click on live classes in which you will get your entire material, select your subject, and of course topic. Here is the schedule for your better understanding in which session you're going for which particular topic. So after completion of every chapter, there's a test discussion, means you'll be going to get mock test paper, and in coming session, you can discuss this mock test paper with your mentor in the class along with the doubts, okay? So you can see every chapter is being covered. So every topic is divided in subtopics that you should not miss anything in the chapter. So last there is super classes. In super classes, you will be going to cover previous year papers. So that means more practice for you. Here you go with the holiday calendar. That is for your reference. That obviously we do live in North and we don't want you to miss any festival as well as classes. So that's why there are holidays for your reference. Here you go with the reading material. There are 4 sets. I'll be going to show you just one as of now for your reference. So you can see the content in the detail. Okay, so here you go with the question paper. So the best part is you got an answer key spelling that you can see how you have performed. Okay, I recommend you to solve your paper and then check your answer keys. Here is the answer. All right. So there is more practice for you. That is under section of worksheet. Select subject once again. And here you will get the worksheet. So I'll show you how you can attempt the exam. Click on take exam. Read instructions. Tick this box. Click on start worksheet. So let me fill answers. I'm not very much sure about the answers, but I'm sure you will be going to perform very well because you'll be going to study with your mentor. So once you've done all the answers, you can submit that worksheet. Click on finish button. Yes, I've reviewed all the questions. So you can check the performance also parallelly. For that, you need to click on performance button. Click it over here and select your subject. And here you can see. So I have attempted this worksheet today. That is 10th. Click on view button. And 2 answers I've attempted, which is showing incorrect. Okay. So this is how you can have access on the dashboard for your material. So that's pretty much about it. Let me log out and stop sharing my screen. Now we are open for the Q round. If anybody is having a doubt, needed a clarity, we'll be happy to answer your each and every query. Drop it in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll begin with the demo.
Have switched off their video.
No doubt. Turn your cameras on, Parth and Ayansh. I think they don't have any doubt, Anjali ma'am. Now you can get the cameras on and you can start with the demo. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, Ayansh and Parth. So when will be the classes? You have noted the days and time. Type in the chat box. Did you note down when are the classes going to start? What will be the days? What will be the time? Got it? So we will have 36 sessions, right? Okay, so let's start today's topic. Yeah, class days, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 5 to 6:15. So 1 hour, 15 minutes class with a 5-minute break in between. Okay, so let's start today's topic. Wait a second. Yeah. So today we are discussing about air. The topic is air. Okay. So what are the things that you already know about air or you might have studied in your earlier classes? Just tell me what are the previous information that you have regarding. You might have studied matter, states of matter, right? Solid, liquid, gas. Have you studied matter? No? Have you heard of these three terms, solids, liquids, and gases? Since today you are on mute, you can just type in the chat box whatever you know about solid, liquid, and gas, whatever you know about this topic air. So yeah, we cannot touch it or feel it. You cannot feel air. No, you can feel it. You cannot see it, right? So air is not something you cannot feel. Of course, the wind blowing on your face, right? On your hair. Of course, you can feel it when you switch off the fan. You feel the cool breeze immediately touching you. Immediately, you can feel that. Your skin has the sensation of that. You cannot see it because it is transparent, right? But it is there. The movement of leaves, the movement of your hair, the movement of the plants around you, or movement of the clothes drying out in the sun, that will all say regarding air. Yes, of course, solid has definite volume and shape. So solid is a state of matter where you can see a fixed volume and a fixed shape. But what about air? Can air be considered as a solid? Does air have a fixed shape or a fixed volume? You can feel it, of course. So you cannot say that I cannot feel it. Yes, solid has tight molecules. That is correct. In the solid, you can see the particles or the molecules are tightly connected. Okay, different types like hydrogen. So you know hydrogen is something which is gas, right? So air is also a mixture. It is a mixture of gases. So it doesn't come under the category of solid. It doesn't come under the category of liquids. It comes under the category of gases. Okay, so if in solid, it has tightly packed molecules. Liquid will have some loosely packed molecules. Then in gases, that means in air, the molecules are very, very loosely packed. Yes, of course. Different gases are in. So we call air as a mixture of several gases. So you can have hydrogen, helium, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, etc., etc. Right? So many gases are present in the air. So air is called as a mixture of several gases, right? And what about its volume and shape? Like solids, you said fixed volume and fixed shape. What about air? What about the shape and volume of air? Any idea? No? What do you mean by volume? Volume means the space occupied. Yeah, very loosely packed particles. That is true. No fixed volume or shape. Very good, Ayansh. It doesn't have any fixed volume, right? So volume means the space occupied by the object, right? So if you keep a table in your room, there would be particular space occupied by the table, right? You keep a chair in your room. That chair will occupy some space. That is known as volume of the chair or volume of the table. Plus, it also has a shape, right? How does it look like? But regarding air, when we talk about air, it doesn't have any fixed volume or shape. So air or any gas, they have no fixed volume and no fixed shape. So volume and shape is not fixed in them. What about liquids then? What about the shape of liquid and volume of liquid? Any idea? Solids have fixed volume and fixed shape, and gases have neither fixed shape nor fixed volume. What about the liquids? Liquids lie in between. What about the shape and volume of liquids? For example, water or lemon juice or tomato sauce or vinegar, right? What about them? What about the volume and shape of those liquids? Any idea? They have fixed shape and volume. Liquids do not have fixed shape. Liquids have fixed volume. Okay, shape is not fixed because if I keep them in a cubical container, they will take the shape of that cube. If I keep them in a rectangular container, they will take the shape of that rectangular thing, right? So shape is not fixed, but volume is fixed. 10 ml of water will be 10 ml only if I keep in spherical container. Then also 10 ml if I keep in circular bowl. Then also 10 ml if I keep in square shaped, cube shaped bowl. Then also 10 ml if I keep in column like tall pillar like container. Then also 10 ml. So in liquids, volume is fixed, but shape is not fixed. Whatever type of container you have, the liquids will take the shape of the container. Okay. So till now, we have just started with the introduction, right? And we discussed that air is actually, yes, loosely packed, no fixed shape, but volume is fixed. Yes, correct part. So till now we discussed that there are different states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. And solids are tightly packed with fixed shape and fixed volume. Liquids are loosely packed, but they have fixed volume. They can take the shape of the container, whatever they are kept it, but fixed volume is there. And finally, we understood that air, the topic that we are going to discuss, air is a mixture of several gases, and gases neither have fixed shape nor have fixed volume. So air just fills up the entire space. You can compress the air into a small container, or you can take the same air into a large container as well, right? So that is what we are going to discuss in today's class. Let us continue. I will change my slide. Okay, can you see my next slide? Properties and uses? No? Is my next slide visible to you? No? Yeah. Properties and uses. It's visible to Ayansh, but not visible to Parth. Not visible to both of you. Just give me a second. Properties and uses. What about now? Is it visible? Properties and uses. Okay, fine. Yeah. So let's discuss the properties of air. Already we discussed it comes in gaseous category, right? The remaining properties are it takes up space, of course, right? It it doesn't have fixed volume, but still it takes up space. That is something that is important, right? Because that is how you can feel it, right? If you see a balloon inflating, right? When a balloon gets filled up with air, its size and shape increases or it changes. So that shows that, of course, air is present over there. When it shrinks, when it deflates, then also you would understand that there is presence of air or there is absence of air. Yeah. Then you have mass. Mass means what? It contains atoms. Have you heard of this term atom? Atoms term, have you heard before? Atoms are the smallest particle, right? That makes up the entire universe. Different types of atoms are there, right? So yes, of course, it has mass. Instead of weight, the correct word is mass because weight actually depends on gravity, right? It changes. Uh, Gravity here on the earth is different. So your weight is different on earth. If you go to moon, if you go to space, your weight will be different. So instead of weight, you have to use the term mass. Okay. So mass means air has some matter in it, some mass in it. That means it has some atoms in it. Atoms, different types of atoms makes up the air. It is tasteless and odorless. Yeah, that is why it is transparent, right? No taste is there, no smell is there. Fresh air. I'm not talking about the if some waste are dropped, right? You pass near the garbage tin and all, you will get a bad smell. Okay. The fresh air or the pure air does not have any kind of particular taste, does not have any kind of particular color, and does not have any particular kind of odor. Right? But when the air is polluted, when there is garbage in the atmosphere, or when there is smoke, that time you can see a different color in the atmosphere. You can see a different taste. You can feel a different smell as well. Okay, but other than that, fresh air or pure air does not have any kind of taste or smell. Air is affected by heat. What do you mean by this statement? That means heat energy can do some changes in air, right? You heat the air. Have you noticed if you're burning the candle, you see the vapors flowing upwards? Have you noticed it? Or if a log of wood is burning, the vapors you can see going upwards, right? That means when heat energy is provided to air, the air molecules get energized and they travel upwards. That means their density decreases and they become lighter and lighter and they go up into the atmosphere. And the opposite also happens when the air gets cooled, or when the heat energy is removed, or if the cold air is there, cold air is heavy. So cold air will settle down at the bottom. Yes, very good part. Hot air will go up and cold air will be down because hot air is very light. Density is less. Okay, hot air means heat energy will actually decrease the density. That is why hot air moves up and cold air moves down. Okay, so that means heat energy can change the characteristic of air or can affect the air. Then the next point is air exerts pressure. What do you mean by pressure? Any idea? Pressure means when you apply force on a particular substance, that is known as pressure, force applied per unit area. So air exerts pressure. That means air can exert force, right? Air can exert force on our body. Air can exert force on different types of objects. So how can you see that pressure when the bottle gets crushed? For example, suppose you have presence of water in the particular thing, right? If you immediately if you pour some hot water into the bottle, or if the hot water is removed and you immediately pour the cold water on the outer surface of the bottle, you see the bottle gets crushed. Okay. The reason is the hot water is being removed. So hot air is also being removed. And when you have poured cold water on the surface of bottle, then the air pressure changes. So what happens? The atmosphere would just compress the water bottle. Similarly, when you are drinking through straw, right? You might have seen you have drinking through the straw of fruity or any kind of or juice, right? By the end, when you suck out full air, then automatically the can is crushed. Have you noticed it? Using a straw, you are sucking juice or you are sucking that drink, right? When the drink is over, you suck out the air. And when you suck out the air also, the can or the cover part would get crushed. Have you noticed it? No? So for that, you need some paper cup or something like that, okay? Next time, whenever you are having using a paper cup, you are having a drink or package drink from outside, just check it, okay? Completely drink the entire thing and then suck out the air out of it or pump out the air. Okay, so when you pump out the air using the straw, then you will notice that the can or the cover automatically gets crushed. So this example shows that air is actually applying a force on the can, or it applies a pressure on the can or the container. Then the next point is air can be compressed. Compressed means since air consists of atoms and these atoms have large amount of space in between, right? These atoms are not closely packed. In solids, we said they are tightly packed. They are very, very close to each other, right? In liquids, we say, okay, they are still not tightly packed, but some space is there. But in gases, maximum space is there. The atoms are very, very wide apart. They are far away from each other. Okay. So due to this large space or maximum space between the atoms, what can we do to them? We can compress them. So if we apply force, the atoms can be brought closer and closer because of the space. So that is the meaning of compression. You can bring the atoms of air or gas closer and closer. Maximum. Solids cannot be compressed. Liquids can be compressed, but to a certain extent. But gases can be compressed maximum. If something is dry and you put it in a mug, turn it upside down, without tilting, the thing will not get it. Of course, atmospheric pressure, right? The water is not able to reach that particular thing because of the pressure exerted by the air. So it won't get wet. Correctly, part. Air is affected by altitude. Altitude means the height, right? When you go up to the atmosphere, what happens? The air density decreases. But near the surface of the earth, the air is very, very dense. So those people who are going to the mountain or for climbing and all, they carry oxygen cylinders with them. Yes, like in planes, they say pressure is dropping, right? Oxygen mask will automatically come down because they will feel difficulty in breathing. Okay, same with the climbers or those people living in hilly regions or mountain areas. Okay. So with respect to altitude, till air does not get out of mouth. Till air means fact. What do you mean by that? Till air does not. Okay, you are talking about the mug experiment previously. Yeah. Okay. Then the next property is air is made up of many gases and the important ones. Can you name the important gases which are present in air or which are in the composition of air? We are saying many gases, but can you name some of them important ones? So what are those gases which makes up air? Helium, hydrogen, very good. So some of the gases which are present are helium, hydrogen, nitrogen. Yeah, continue. One of the important one you missed out. Two most important ones, actually. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oxygen and carbon dioxide, CO2. Because plants require CO2 for photosynthesis and we require oxygen for respiration. So these are the two important gases, right? Then of course, many other are there, right? Iodine. Iodine is not a gas, right? Argon. Argon you can see. Argon is a gas. So like that, many other gases are there. Yes, oxygen is the most important one, which is essential for the breathing. Without oxygen, how will we survive? So essential for survival and breathing, helps in burning. Of course, oxygen is only responsible for breathing and oxygen is also responsible for burning. Without the presence of oxygen, substances won't be able to burn. Both are correct. Okay. Shall we move on to the next slide? Can you see this next slide? No? Now, Composition of atmosphere, no. Earth's atmosphere contains, yes. So the Earth's atmosphere contains several gases, but in general, if we talk about the maximum amount, that means almost 78%, or we can say almost equal to 3/4, right? More than 3/4 of the Earth's atmosphere or the air composition is made up of nitrogen. It occupies 78 percentage. Then we have 21 percentage of oxygen. That means oxygen comes in the second place. So this is the topmost the number. That means the first number or the first place goes to nitrogen. And at the second place, you have oxygen, right? That is 21 percentage. Then the third place, you have carbon dioxide. That is only 0.04 percentage, 0.04 percentage. And then you have other gases. That means you have helium, argon, what else is there? Sulfur and phosphorus, and these all amount of phosphorus oxide, sulfur dioxide, or any other kind of pollutants are there, right? They all occupy only less than 1%, I would say. So 78 plus 21 is almost 99%, right? So 99% is made up of nitrogen and oxygen, and along with carbon dioxide and other gases, they make up only for 1%, right? That means they are very less in percent, or they are very less in number. Yeah. Yeah. So in periodic table, you can find all these elements, right? But okay, so see how much space is occupied by nitrogen and oxygen, right? So air is a mixture of several gases that we discussed. Some of the gases name also we discussed, but now we have seen the composition. So air consists almost 99 percentage is occupied by two of the gases, that is nitrogen and oxygen, or two of the elements, I would say, right? And rest all gases are of only 1%. So this is the composition of air. Now, out of this, you can see how important is nitrogen. Nitrogen in the atmosphere is actually helping the plants, right? Some plants require nitrogenous substances. It is also used as fertilizers, right? It is also used in various kind of industries. Oxygen. Oxygen is used by animals for breathing, respiration. For burning, substances won't be burning in the absence of oxygen. So for burning, oxygen is required, right? Then carbon dioxide is also very, very important because there is a process known as photosynthesis. Have you heard of this process? Photosynthesis. Yes, nitrogen cycle is important. So many plants are there which are depending on nitrogen. Yes. Photosynthesis is a process by which plants prepare their own food, and for the photosynthesis, they require CO2. Without the presence of CO2, they are unable to do photosynthesis, right? So CO2 is also a very important gas. So plants take in CO2 and they give out oxygen. But do you know CO2 is also a major pollutant? If CO2 is increased in amount, it causes air pollution. And if it is so much in the atmosphere, it can also cause water pollution. By rainwater mixing with CO2 will cause acid rain, and that acid rain can cause water pollution. So it is important, but we should be able to control the amount of oxygen, right? So being a mixture of gases, maximum amount is actually occupied by the nitrogen. Okay, let's discuss the next slide. Why do we need an atmosphere? Okay, so what is atmosphere actually? Have you heard of this term, atmosphere? Have you heard? Yeah, so atmosphere is the thin layer of gases that surrounds the Earth's surface, right? Does atmosphere have any importance? Is atmosphere everywhere? When you go out into the space, is atmosphere there as well? Yes, it is the surface of the Earth means it is only at a particular level of the Earth, right? Till a particular height only you have atmosphere. You don't have atmosphere in the space. So does atmosphere have any importance? Is it important? It controls pollution. Okay. It doesn't do much in controlling pollution actually, Ayansh, because pollution is something which is actually present in the atmosphere, right? So pollution cannot be controlled by atmosphere. Atmosphere is a layer of gases which is surrounding. Atmosphere actually protects us from the external environment, right? Whatever happening is in the space or anything which is happening in the external space or surroundings. So harmful radiations coming from the planets or harmful radiations coming from the meteors burning or some aura that is happening in the atmosphere or some radiations which is happening in the external space or some ultraviolet radiations of the sun, so those rays only atmosphere protect, okay? Atmosphere cannot control what is happening inside it. Atmosphere is a protective layer which covers us. So we are in a blanket kind of thing, right? So we are covered with a blanket. So something from outside can be saved by the atmosphere. But pollution is something which is happening from the earth, right? So we are on the surface of the earth and we are only burning objects. We are creating pollution. So atmosphere cannot do anything regarding that. Atmosphere is like a covering. So something is coming from external space, like some meteors are burning or something is happening in the space. Then atmosphere can help us, can save us, because that will not allow the particular radiation to pass into the Earth's surface. Okay. So one of the important thing that atmosphere does is the presence of oxygen is there in the atmosphere, right? So atmosphere holds all these gases onto the surface of Earth, especially the oxygen, which would help us in surviving. Why we are not able to stay in other planets like Mars, Jupiter and all? They don't have the atmosphere, right? They don't have atmosphere. They don't have the particular gases present in those atmosphere, which is essential for the survival or for the breathing. And that is the reason we are not able to survive in those planets, or no life existence is present in those planets. Second thing, third thing, many things atmosphere does. One more thing that atmosphere does is distribute the heat, right? So certain regions of the Earth's surface get maximum heat, sun rays, right? Equatorial region, we get equator, we are in the equatorial region. So tropical regions and all, we are getting maximum sun rays. But due to the presence of air and due to the presence of atmosphere, this heat can be transferred to other areas also, right? Since the hot air will go up, cold air will come and take its place. And this is how the heat will be generated with the help of air, with the help of atmosphere. Otherwise, only particular part of the earth will be heated up and the remaining part will remain cold ever, right? So that is also important part of atmosphere. Yeah. Can you see my next slide? Different layers of atmosphere. Yes. So these are the different layers of atmosphere. So we will start, we are here, we are on the surface of the earth. The first layer, which is also the densest. The first layer that is closest to our surface is called a troposphere. Okay, so troposphere is the layer where most of the activities take place, right? Where most of the cloud formation or rain, etc., this all take place. Plus, this is the densest part. That means maximum amount of air and other particles are present in the troposphere. Then here in between, you get the stratosphere. This is the second layer. And in between troposphere and stratosphere, you have one more important layer, that is ozone layer. Have you heard of this layer, ozone layer? Ozone layer saving us from harmful UV rays, right? So ozone layer is present in the between troposphere and stratosphere. So this is a layer which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Right? Those rays can cause diseases, skin cancer, cataract, skin disease, etc. So these rays are actually reflected back by the ozone layer. And only the good and useful rays are absorbed by the troposphere. So this is the important layer. Second comes the stratosphere, right? This actually helps in having that ozone layer. And then third comes the mesosphere, where the activities like the meteors, meteorites, when they enter the Earth's surface due to the high temperature, they get burnt or evaporated. Right? Then you have thermosphere, where you see this lightning or aurora happening, right? So where the ions are there, or where the charges would be there, right? So radiations would be there. You can also see satellites present in the thermosphere, the artificial satellites that we are sending. Then we have the exosphere, which is actually the extended space. So spaceships and all can be seen over exosphere. So it extends into the space. Okay, so these are the 5 different layers of the atmosphere. You can see the temperature difference also. So when you go to the exosphere, the temperature is actually increasing, right? Shall I show the next slide? So since this is a demo class, I have not completed the entire topic. I have just selected a random topic, but the actual class will be how the schedule you have. Like ma'am showed you the dashboard session tour, right? You saw there is a schedule given. So session number 1 contains these topics. Session 2 contains these topics, right? So the class, the chapters are divided into sessions, and after the completion of each chapter, you have a test session. So test session will work like the test questions would be sent to you, right? You will be attempting the test from your home, and then you will get the marks. And I will do the discussion. That means I will discuss the questions with you after the attention of test. That time I will discuss what kind of problems that you faced, or why was the question wrong, or why did you attempt it wrong. So discussion we will do. Okay, so this is how the class goes. So here we have some practice questions. This is just for your understanding. Like these almost 15 to 20 questions you will get after each and every chapter. Okay, so let's just solve these questions. You can type your answers in the chat box. The upper limit of the atmosphere. That means they are talking about the last layer. Percentage of oxygen and nitrogen in air. We discussed composition of air, so we are talking about the percentage of oxygen and nitrogen. The layer of atmosphere that protects us from UV rays, already discussed with you. First one, exosphere. Yes, very good. The upper layer is exosphere, where it actually extends into the external space. Correct. Yes, Ayansh, you are correct. So exosphere is the upper layer, and the lowest layer is the troposphere. What about the percentage of oxygen and nitrogen in air? That means how the two of them, what percentage they occupy, oxygen and nitrogen. Do you remember how much percentage was occupied by nitrogen? 78% by nitrogen, very good, and 21% by oxygen. So together they make up for how much, how many percentage? Parth, why are you not answering? Together they make up for 99. Okay, so 99%. Yes, very good, Parth. Yes. Exosphere, nitrogen. So together it is 78 plus 21, 99%. What about the third question? The layer of atmosphere that protects us from UV rays. Ozone layer, right? Ozone layer. And it is present in the stratosphere. So ozone layer, this is present in the stratosphere. The densest layer, the layer which is having the maximum density. Density means the maximum mass or weight, we can say. Which layer of atmosphere is the densest layer? Any idea? Yes, Parth, you are correct. It is the troposphere. So troposphere is having the maximum density. Troposphere. The component of air that helps to sustain life on Earth. So how is the life on Earth being sustained? Which component of air is in that? Oxygen, very good. Oxygen is helpful in breathing. Oxygen is helpful in burning, right? So mainly for breathing. So we require oxygen for our survival. Very good. Okay, so this was just a example, or this was just like a demo, right? So the actual class would have all the details. Here I have just randomly took some presentation and some topic, and I have randomly given some practice question. But in the actual class, you will have detailed topics, detailed explanation, and the test would include almost 15 to 20 questions. Okay, plus you have, that is the test questions. Other than that, you also have worksheets. So worksheets in the class also we will discuss whenever we have time. And if we don't have, I'll give you as a homework also. Okay, so anyway, you will have to revise the topic, right? Anything else you want to share with me or you want to ask regarding our classes? So the classes will begin on from 17th of July, right? Details of sessions and all you check from the Olympiad Success platform itself. Any other doubt? Okay. So you can discuss and you can talk with your parents and get enrolled in the classes as soon as possible. Okay then, shall I log out of the meeting? Parth and Ayansh, then goodbye. Take care.